Mike's muted. My son's on there, and he says, ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome to Northwoods Rock live stream. Kevin, can you believe this is number 10, the big
10.
1-0?
That's what you said earlier.
Yes, I said it again.
Aren't you glad that those weren't your diving boards at your house? You know,
I'm not going to mention any names, but he works at Chick-fil-A. He's not related to me. But early on, we had a diving that happened to. I felt terrible because he was a guest at our house, and he hit the diving board, and the diving board flipped over, and it was awful. And it really wasn't his fault because there was. We knew there was a fallacy with the structure, but it was kind of.
I was going to transcribe who I thought it was, their first name and their last name, first letter of the first and last names. You know, do that,
Like if I said,
sod tap.
oh,
But I went to go do that with who I thought it might be, and,
Okay.
and it doesn't work. 'Cause
yeah.
it's the same.
yeah. Okay, I'm holding back on what I want to say right now, but I'll remind me later and I'll tell you what it was. But hey, I hope everybody is doing well. Kevin, I know people are starting to get out and about. I know you've been out and about. Matter of fact, I went to one of your favorite places today with one of your favorite people.
Really? Who's that?
Yes, Drew Gamble and I went to the Burrito Border, and I knew we had gone to the right place because when we walked in, they said, "Oh, hey, I know you. You've been coming here since you were this big."
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yes, and apparently for the Gambles, the Burrito Border is one of those places. Now, Drew wanted me to share this because we stumbled across a concept today. We'll call it the 12-hour concept, meaning you can do anything for 12 hours. So if you have something, if you're thinking about something and you're going, you know what, if I can't do this for the rest of my life, blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. Just do it for the next 12 hours.
Okay.
For example, and this wasn't Drew's example, so I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything. But if you have a parent, for example, and maybe they've got a lot of chores for you, a lot of things to do, because a lot of people are at the house these days, and that parent says to you, do this, do that, do this, and you're thinking, you know what, I cannot do this until I turn 18 years old. You don't have to do it till you turn 18 years old. Just joyfully obey your parents for the next 12 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so it simplifies things, makes it better. Anyway, that's just something Drew and I stumbled across, and he thought it would be helpful for others, so we decided to share it with the world. One thing that's exciting tonight, Kevin, is we have a guest. We have our very first official guest. We've had some drop-ins, some studio audience kind of people.
Sometimes just their voice.
Sometimes just their voice. They were in the house, but they were not on camera. Well, tonight we have our first guest that will actually be on camera. Michelle Angelo. Yes. So she will be. You'll get to see her later.
And just in case you're not following in the chat, she's going to do like the Bob Ross style. She's going to teach us how to draw something.
Right.
And so everybody get a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper ready to Michelle. And we want you to send those, after she teaches you how to do it, obviously, we want to see your good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah.
And we'll feature it next week on.
Yeah. So to summarize all that, Michelle Angelo is going to come. She's going to teach us how to do a drawing. Mm-hmm. We're going to do a drawing, and then we're going to send them in either to text. You can text them up to Kevin's number or email them to todd@sharethejoy.com, whichever way you prefer. And then we may even put them in the randomizer and select a prize out of people who submit their drawings. So it won't be who's the best or whatever, because they're all beautiful. Your mom loves them all. But so it'll be random who wins it.
So we'll put it in the randomizer, and there'll be a random prize generated. After the fact.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be next week you'll be featured on Youth Night.
Right. Exactly.
You could be YouTube famous.
Right. Now, Kevin, I did get a haircut, which I think I had it last week. Did I have it last week? No, I didn't have it yet last week. So I did get the haircut. We got to 75, which was good. Kevin, we had a couple weird kind of people follow us this week. I'm not sure who they are. It just said something about Mariners legal team or something is now following us on YouTube, which I don't know who.
I don't know who Mariners is. You know.
That's pretty fantastic that they would follow us like that. I think that's probably an honor.
Where does Doug Fields teach?
In his pool. His big old pool. So anyway, that's great. Well, let us know how you're doing this week 10. Hopefully things are good and bright. Went to a high school graduation today, which was a drive-in for Leon, Drew, and Jordan, and Isis Smith graduated today. Didn't realize she was graduating today, but she graduated today as well. Cool. So that was pretty fun. Julian and Caden also graduated from Leon, I think a little earlier, at least for Caden. So anyway, it was great. I was surprised at how pleasant it was. It was shorter than a regular graduation, which was good.
So congratulations to all of our seniors.
All of our seniors, yeah. And I didn't name them all. I wasn't trying to name them all, but if we want to go back and do that, I guess you could add Samantha. You would add Amore, And have I missed any? If I did, it wasn't on purpose.
Kind of
So-
put you on the spot here.
Yeah, you kind of did. But so anyway, we will have senior night later in the summer. So if we missed you, then when we're all back together, we'll have senior night, and we'll thank you in person.
There you go.
for watching that. So, but we want you to let us know how you're doing. So in the chat, in the comments, send us an emoji and let us know how you are doing. And Kevin, you had something else you wanted them to send us just out of a curiosity.
Yeah, just for a fun thing. What is your next suggested video on YouTube?
Okay, your next suggested video on YouTube.
That may tell us more about yourself than the emoji. You know.
Yeah, that's
mine.
true.
Mine is a recommendation on fishing knots.
Okay, fishing knots. Very good. Very good. So yeah, make those comments. Now, Kevin, cheer us up a little bit. Show us the memes of the week.
The meme of the weeks, or the memes of the week. Okay, we got the murder hornets coming next month. We've got shark gulls that are gonna come and devour our faces for not social
boy.
distancing at the beach. Next, we got Korean flamethrower squirrels have reached the U.S. You know, so you watch out. You know, they seem cute and fuzzy, and you know, don't give them bread and nuts and stuff like that because they may pull out a flamethrower and burn your face off. It sounds like thunder outside, but with the way 2020 is going, it might be Godzilla.
Oh boy!
Especially as we enter thunderstorm season, it seems like that we're getting a lot of those lately.
Yep.
Which is good. It's starting to. I can't talk. Kind of starting to understand why pets try to run out of the house when somebody opens the front door. I feel that on many levels. Next, we have my face when my family asks if I spent my Corona check on a life-size sloth costume. So, some frivolous spending going on there, maybe. I don't know, but you know, a sloth costume I can think of worse ways to spend money.
Really? Kevin, wait. We didn't have a top 5 list this week because we couldn't find a good one. But I'm going to put you on the spot. I want to know your top 5 things that would be money worse spent than on a life-size sloth costume.
Poop emoji pool float.
Okay. Number 5. Okay. Number 4, Kevin.
Okay, we're going to come up with 5 right on the
top
spot.
5
Right
on the spot, yeah.
What would be worse? Wow. A Kevin costume.
Okay. Yes.
An electric razor for me.
Right, that would be a waste of money for sure.
Promoting our YouTube page on Reddit.
What? You didn't do that, did you?
I did. Trying to get your hair cut. I didn't spend any money on it, but it was a waste of time.
Yeah, okay. That may explain some strange comments we've been getting, Kevin.
It didn't help.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Is that 5?
That's fine.
That's good enough.
That's 4 or 5. All right.
On with the show.
Yeah.
Okay. The toilet paper is returning to its natural habitat. Nature is healing.
Yes.
You know, we've seen the pictures of the dolphins returning to the canals of Venice, Italy,
Right.
and stuff like that. And yeah, this brings a tear to some eyes.
Yes.
And now that Universal Orlando is opening June 3rd, so you can go Coronis Patronus and make all of this go away.
Hey, very good, very good. Kevin, I wonder, I'd be curious to see if anybody's brave enough to go to the theme parks right now.
Yeah. Put in the comments if you're brave enough to.
If we offered a free ticket to a theme park, would you go?
Yeah, I saw that Disney is starting to
July 11th.
Come up with plans, and masks are required.
July 11th, yes.
But see if anybody's brave enough in 200-degree weather, to wear a mask on their face all day.
A lot of passing out. All right, well, Kevin, I'm readjusting here. I'm getting ready because we're going to play. It is that time. We're going to play a little round of dad jokes. We have Miss Sarah Fulbright. She is going to be our judge. The way the game will work, Kevin, is I am going to tell you a dad joke. If I crack a smile while telling it, I get a point, which is bad. if you crack a smile while I tell it, you get a point, which is bad, and then we'll reverse it, and then I don't know if we're playing to a certain number or something. We didn't determine that.
Yeah, I guess we just figured out. This may be the most authentic segment on the show yet, because we're middle-aged guys, as some people said. You were dads,
That was 10 years ago when I said that.
What you trying to say there, Todd?
I'm just saying it was a minute ago.
We like podcasts more than we like radio. So here we go. You going first? Am I going first?
I'll go first.
Okay. He's laughing. He hadn't even started yet.
I know. All right.
Todd did say he was terrible at this.
I am awful. I cannot hold a straight face. My face gives me away at everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember teachers asking me all the time, "Are you bored?" I'm like, all right. So, are you ready, Sarah? All right. Hey, yeah. Well, you can watch for hair movement. Okay, Kevin, what's ET short for?
Extraterrestrial.
So he can fit on the spaceship.
That's what's gonna get me is you laughing.
What's it short for?
It's.
So wait, if you laugh after I laughed,
Yeah, I think that counts.
So we both got a point?
I think we both got a point.
Okay. Am I keeping score? Okay.
I don't have a pen.
Okay. All right. Both got a point. Okay. A negative point. All right. Go ahead, Kevin.
This graveyard looks overcrowded. People must be dying to get in here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kevin, why was the broom late for work?
It was swept off its feet.
It overswept.
Okay. Y'all should see the expression on Todd's face as he tries to hold back laughter. It looks something like.
All right, this is not my game.
Last night, I dreamt I was a muffler.
Yes, Kevin. Yes, Kevin. Please tell me more.
I woke up exhausted.
I'm assuming I get a point for that. What's the score? Like,
I think we're tied because I've laughed every time
three.
you've laughed.
Okay, so we'll say 3-3. All right, we're getting the hang of it now.
Okay.
What do you call a 5-foot psychic that's escaped from jail?
I don't know.
A small, medium, at large.
Okay. 2 satellites decided to get married.
Mm-hmm.
The wedding wasn't much, but the reception was incredible.
Okay. I'm a little nervous about this one because I see the question, but I don't see the answer yet. What do you get when you throw a hand grenade into a French bathroom?
I don't know.
Linoleum blown apart.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Linoleum blown apart.
Our wedding was so beautiful. Even the cake was in tears.
I know, but you gotta understand. What cost 40? What cost? Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, I got a point. You didn't on that one. You didn't even laugh. Kevin, what cost 45 cents?
Milk duds.
50 cent featuring Nickelback.
What do you call a pony with a sore throat?
Mm.
A little horse.
Mm-hmm. What do you call a pencil without lead?
I don't know.
Pointless.
I am terrified of elevators. I'm going to start taking steps to avoid them.
Did you hear that David lost his ID in Prague?
No.
Now we just have to call him Dave.
Have you heard of the band 120 or 1,200? Have you heard of the band 1,023 megabytes?
No.
They haven't got a gig yet.
Mm-hmm. Why did chicken coops only ever have 2 doors?
Because they didn't. They'd be chicken sedans.
That's correct. I'm not going to laugh at that because the fact that you knew the answer is a little scary, Kevin.
I do. I am a fan of some dad jokes.
Okay.
Where does Fonzie like to go for lunch? Chick-fil-A.
Makes sense. Why did Sherlock Holmes go to the Mexican restaurant?
I don't know.
He was looking for a good case idea.
Case idea. I got it. What did the officer molecule say to the suspect molecule?
I don't know.
I got my eye on you.
Mm-hmm. Why did the IPA beat the pale ale at basketball? I'm assuming those are beer terms.
Yes.
Okay. You know
I don't
why?
know.
Oh. Because it had more hops.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Why can't you have a nose 12 inches long?
Because then it would be a foot.
Correct. See, we're 1 for 1 on knowing dad jokes.
We are. What did one snowman say to the other snowman?
I don't know.
Smells like carrots.
I'm not addicted to brake fluid. I can stop whenever I want.
I'm going to go ahead and write that one down, Kevin. Point. All right, couple more.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Never trust an atom.
Why's that?
They make up everything.
What did the grape do when he got stepped on?
What?
He let out a little wine.
What did the egg say to the boiling water?
I don't know.
It'll be a minute before I get hard. I just got... Never mind. Next joke. Okay. What do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft?
I don't know.
A flat miner.
What do you call an Argentinian with a rubber toe?
I give up.
Rubber toe?
Oh. Yeah, okay. Like Roberta.
That made Maddie laugh.
Yeah.
Not Drew.
No, and I don't get a point for Maddie laughing. All right. What are the strongest days of the week?
I don't know.
You don't? Saturday and Sunday. All the rest are weekdays. All right. One more each.
Okay. I'm reading a book on the history of glue. I just can't seem to put it down.
Mm-hmm. My boss told me to attach... Hold on, let me read the punchline first. Okay. My boss told me to attach 2 pieces of wood together. I totally nailed it.
Okay. And finally, I wouldn't buy anything with Velcro. It's a total ripoff.
All right, Kevin.
That had a rough start, but...
yeah, we got better at it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure that made for better YouTube.
No, the seriousness of it certainly did not. But in the end, Kevin, you are the winner, 6-4. So
25.
Congratulations.
6-4.
All right.
Did I just cue the next thing with my little singing there? Or no?
No, you did not.
I did not.
Because our next thing is our special guest. So, Michelangelo, come on up here. You're going to help us to draw something. So, come on up. That is you. So, come on up. Y'all welcome Michelle. Give her some claps in the comments. Yay. We
will.
We're
set up.
We're going to do all of that.
my painting. That's the one I did for the mermaid thing.
All right. Go ahead, Michelangelo. Take it away.
Well, it gotta be on the screen first. I gotta wait for it. Oh. Yeah, I don't normally draw vertically, so this is gonna be a little strange. Hello. Today we will be learning how to draw this. I hope you can see it, because I think it looks pretty good. I hope you got your pencils, because we're gonna do this thing like Bob Ross. That's gonna be good. Hello, Todd.
Hello, you're doing great.
Okay. I don't normally do tutorials, so I hope I do well on this. Okay, so we're gonna be doing this, but bigger, obviously. So you wanna first get your thing adjusted so that it's not wibbling and wobbling all around the place. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, you wanna draw a big old circle, not too big, because you still need room to add the neck and the hair and stuff. Okay. So next thing you need to take your titanium flat, no, I'm just kidding, and make a line maybe down here, and make it in the middle. Make it really straight, because it's gonna be a front-facing drawing. That looks proper. Like, can you see it? Maybe they can see it very well. Okay. So then, I'm left-handed, so it's kind of odd. So you want to make another kind of vertical line there, not too wide. Not too wide. That looks about right. Weird. Okay. And you kind of want to just connect the dots from the middle line to the bottom. Leave a little space for the chin, of course. Connect the dots. This guy's face is a little bit longer than my drawing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the circle off a little bit, make it a bit smaller. Adjust it. Because this is our world. We can do whatever we want in our world. Yeah. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So then in this little, so hooray, you've made your face. You're done. No, I'm just kidding. About in the perpendicular crossroads, I don't know how to describe it. You just draw these two straight lines. They can be straight. They can be kind of bent like that for the nostrils. And just, this is what I do. You don't have to do this, but I just kind of add this little nose shape thing. And then, somewhere up here, I don't normally use guidelines. I normally just kind of use my intuition. So somewhere up here, make eyebrows. Eyebrows are good at indicating expression. Make them kind of long, longer than you think they're gonna be. They need to go over the eye, extend past it. This eye is gonna be wide open. Make kind of that shape, and then make that shape like upside down. That does not look anything like my drawing. Oh. It's hard to copy things, so I guess that's it. And this one, the eye is going to be closed a little bit. Oh my goodness. That does not look at all what I had drawn. I'm going to make that a bit smaller. And I like to draw a line for the eyelid, so make one like that. That thing. And since this eye is a little bit more closed, the line's going to be closer to the eye. You can still draw this thing. That doesn't look anything like what I drew. Oh my goodness. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Sorry if I'm bad at this. I'm going to redo the nose a little bit higher up. I'm going to make this little make this guy squint a little bit. And normally what I like to do is I like to draw two little connecty dots and connect the dots for the smile. And this guy, he's gonna be looking off to his left. So we're gonna draw two little circles. Look how one eye is just way wider than the other one. That's great. That's great. Doing this on live TV, that's wonderful. Okay. Hi, Dad. How's it going? Dad's watching this right now. So I'm saying hello. Oh my goodness. So if you get any part of this wrong, that's okay, because some people have facial deformities and that's a thing. So if it doesn't look good, then that's alright, because some people look like that. Then like from the middle of the eye to the top of the eye and kind of bottom, or you can make like a teacup shape almost. Like his head is a mug and you want to drink it. And make this curvy line, and do the same on the other side. Little teacup shape. I don't even know if anybody's doing this or if I'm just doing this and just to do it. I hope people are doing this. And you want to make the hairline. Don't make it too close to the eyebrows because people have foreheads. I know, it's crazy. I need a haircut. And then, like right about here is where I normally would do the hair, like the hair part situation. I don't know why I always do it there, but do lines like this on the eyebrows, because I don't know why, but it's something about the nose. And then his body's gonna be kind of facing this way, and so his neck needs to be kind of slant. Don't forget to make it curvy. Necks aren't straight. They're just not. His one shoulder's gonna be like that, and his other shoulder's gonna be like that. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's doing a cool skateboard move. Who knows? It's very quiet in here. I wish there was some music. I feel uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, just alone. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'd call that music, Kevin. And we're gonna make a line for the shirt. Make it a bit above the shoulders because it's not part of his skin. It's a shirt. Like a second line. Or the seam. Oh, it's looking pretty good so far. It's looking cool. I like him. What'd you say he looked like, Mom? You gave him a name? No, Michael. Mom thinks he looks like a Michael. Of course, he's bald right now, but erase the top of his head. Okay. My favorite thing to draw is hair. Just make like a bunch of triangles. They don't have to be good triangles. My favorite thing about drawing hair is that you can be really loose and flowy with it as long as you know the rules. The rules are, a lot of the time, you gotta keep it the same length throughout. And it's not gravity resistant. There's always some gravity in there. It's bad. I know. Just kind of add a bunch of weird triangles. You can make them bigger if you want them to have fuller hair. It's like a ring around the head, like a circle. And I always like to add these little things because some people, like hair on their neck. I'd say that looks pretty good. I can outline it too. Todd, should I outline it or do we not have time for that? Yeah. Outlining is pretty fun. I don't normally do it vertically. I normally draw my stuff flat on the table. But I'm trying to do good with that. So if you have a pen, You can line it. And be confident, you know? It's not scary. It is scary actually. It's very scary, but that's just how it is. This is your world. Sure. He's got his shirt on. And you can see it. Or hopefully my hand's not in the way all the time. Do you think they can see it, Tom? Okay. So, do nose. It's okay if it's a little off. I'm gonna erase the pencil, you know. Huh. I hope I'm not wasting y'all's time. That's not what I want to do. I'm just gonna talk about random stuff, I guess. Whenever I see Caden and Dalen and Julian together, I always call them the squad. Cause you always see them together. You know, if you need to find one, you just have to look for one of the others, and boom, there they are. So that's really handy. And the hair doesn't have to be. It can be clean, smooth lines if you want it to be. Ooh, around, I don't know, whatever you want to do. This is your world. They keep laughing in the background because they know I'm funny. This is hard. If you guys wanna send it to me, you can. I'm on Instagram. A lot of you follow me, so send it to me. I'll review it. I was thinking that the prize could be like a half-second hug. A half-second hug from yours truly. Not too long though, because then Mom would get mad at me. I had so many ideas for what to talk about earlier. Now I can't think of any. That's a shame. Do the It's a lot harder to draw on my tablet because my tablet at home doesn't have a screen. It's connected to the computer, and so that's a lot harder because I can't see what I'm doing. I have to be constantly looking up while my hand's down here, so that's a bit difficult. You know. And if you want to, you can make your eyebrows just one straight line. That's fine. But I figured why not. Now you can do the hair. And the hair. Oh, I didn't even see the little. I like to do these little thingies on his neck. I just think they're really fun to do. Now for the hair, you just draw a bunch of V's. Add extra stuff into the hair. I hope y'all's look good. If they don't, and you think they don't look good, then don't be discouraged, because I saw a post online where this person was like, "Oh, my cake's not better than that other person's cake," but then another person was like, "Oh my goodness, 2 cakes." So it's still art, and people will still enjoy it, even if your cake isn't as good as another person's cake. And now, what we're gonna do, I hope this looks good. Oh, I'm gonna fill in the eyes. If you have a white gel pen, you can just do the whole eye and then draw a U. But I didn't bring mine, so I'm just gonna draw that, and then fill in the top part. It's pretty fun to do. Oh, I completely forgot to draw another circle for the little gleam of hope in his eyes. Right now he doesn't have any hope. He is a shell of a human being. And I'm sorry for him. I feel sorry. But that's just the way it's gotta be. dad gave me a Coca-Cola. Little did he know I had one before we came here. Now I got a free Coca-Cola. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. No, I'm not done yet. We still gotta erase. This is my sushi eraser. I really like it because it erases very well. So once you're done with that, you just go ham on it. You know, be aggressive. Maybe you hate him. Maybe he looks like your worst enemy, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hate you. Get out of here. I'm trying to fill space. I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot. Oh my goodness. Okay. So if you want, you can add like a lower something below his eyes if you want. Oh, now he just looks tired. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this segment of Rock and that you had a good time drawing.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That was awesome.
You are welcome, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin, for having me.
That was fantastic. Now, don't forget, we want you to show us how you did. And if you tried, you did well. But we would love to see those, so you can text those into Kevin's number. There's tape on it where it shows you where to go. Oh, good point. Well, I thought you were using the other one. All right. Well, Michelle, Angelo, we want to thank you again. Thank you. That was fantastic.
Outstanding.
Now, Michelle, I'd never seen that erase technique where you just erase everything. Oh, I see. Because you did it with pencil, then you did it with pen, and so then you erased the pen. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I've just never seen anybody actually do that before. That's fantastic. Yeah. So good job. What is the uh-oh?
At least it's still instead of confusing.
No signal.
It still looks like something you guys do.
I don't know if you guys can hear us. We lost signal on the camera. Oh, and we're back.
You want me to fix it?
He can do it right here.
So are we on?
I'm waiting for the lag to catch up to tell if we're actually broadcasting. Yes, we are back.
All right, we are back, but I don't think that the camera is on yet.
Yeah, it is. It's on.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I saw us come back.
Okay.
Ellie said that Michelle's drawing was like a mix of Jaren and Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
I was thinking Sharon a little. Sharon, sorry, Jaren. I was thinking Shaggy and Jaren. Sorry, I was thinking Jaren myself. So Kevin, I thought it'd be interesting tonight. I had a really strange dream the other night, which in the end kind of led to kind of a life lesson.
Okay.
In a strange kind of way. I was actually, for whatever reason, I was filling in preaching for Pastor Ross.
Okay.
Okay, so the first part of the dream, I remember I'm back in the choir room. I'm just kind of, settling my mind or whatever, getting ready to go preach. And
it's weird that you're in the choir room because usually you're sitting on the front row.
Right, yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's a dream.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I asked, well, I didn't ask. Robin came and asked me. He's like, "Hey, something's wrong with the camera. The camera's not working." And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm preaching today, but whatever." So fortunately, as soon as he said that, Bill Shore walked in, and Bill's kind of our camera tech guy around here.
Right.
Really fantastic, wonderful man who does so much for us. But so he came and kind of got all that fixed. But then I walk inside the Joy Dome where I'm gonna preach. And I noticed across the front there's all these banners. And one of the banners, which I think was a very important banner, I don't remember what it was about, but I remember like this banner needed to be right. and the information on it was right, but it had these strange, like edit markings, like printed on it, like you would write on them, kind of like with Michelle's eraser.
Right.
But they hadn't erased them. The edit marks were still there. And I remember one of them was like a hammer, and there was like a square kind of a thing. Just these strange edit markers. And I thought that is really, really strange. But I didn't think much about it. Just kind of okay. That's kind of tacky. I wonder why we even put that up if there's edit markers still on it. And so I'm still walking. I guess it's taking a long time to walk from the choir room to the pulpit or whatever. But I'm walking, and actually it was Sarah Fulbright. I hear Sarah Fulbright talking to some of the girls about the upcoming girls' retreat.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, that's strange. Okay, there's a girls' retreat. I guess that's good, but I knew nothing about it.
That's not good that you don't know about that.
There's a girls' retreat going on. I know nothing about it. Okay, so but that's okay, whatever. So all these things, the camera and then the edit marks, and then there's a girls' retreat that I don't even know anything about. And then I'm walking up to the pulpit, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm going to show you, so you'll see it. But
The ladder? The ladder. Like, what are we supposed to be looking at there, Todd?
It was the ladder.
Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure. Harder than it looks, isn't it, Todd?
But it was a ladder similar to that, definitely similar to that height, maybe a little steeper to get up to the actual pulpit where you preach. But then when you got to the top, there was bulletproof glass for whatever reason. I don't know if it was, maybe it was just COVID glass. I don't know. But it was some sort of plastic glass. But, most people, like the Pope and people, if they do that, it's like clear. So, you can clearly see one another, whatever. This wasn't clear. It was kind of like tilted out for one thing. So it was really strange like that. And it had kind of this yellow tint to it. So it was really hard to even communicate. So I'm way up on top of this thing, and there's this glass, and it's yellow. And I get up there, and I realize this isn't going to work because I've forgotten to bring my notes with me. So
I climb back down the ladder.
So I climbed back down the ladder.
Okay.
Came into this building, which is the brick building, and when I get over here, all the windows are open, and there's kind of smoke in the building. It's just kind of weird. So all that's going on. But I go ahead and I print what I think is my notes. So I print my notes. I go back over, climb back up. Oh, a couple other strange things happen I'd forgotten about. But as I'm
it gets weirder.
It gets weirder as I'm walking.
But wait, there's more.
As I'm walking to the brick building, literally it was Susan Garacki, but she's crying, and I'm like, what's the matter? And she's like, well, I shouldn't have even looked at the news because now I know about Wall Street, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened at Wall Street. It was a Sunday, so it wouldn't be like a market crash or something. But did somebody bomb Wall Street? What's going on Wall Street? But I don't know. I don't have time. So I come back in and I print the thing, and then I walk back out, and there's another person. And this person's like, hey, I haven't had a shower in 3 days. Do y'all have a shower here at the church? And I said, well, we do have one, but I think Pastor Ross has already told a homeless person that he can use it, so that one's not really available. And then it dawned on me. I said, you know what? Today's your lucky day. We had baptism today, so the baptistry is full of water. So after the services, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get all the people out. We'll lock down the doors. We'll put deacons outside so nobody comes in, and we'll allow you to take a bath in the baptistry. So super crazy. So as I'm walking back in, I realize all this took a while. So there's this lady, and she's walking to the front, and I asked her, were you about to go preach because I was coming in later? She's like, no, my husband was. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm here now. So I walk on up there. I get up to the top again.
You interrupt this guy in the middle of his sermon.
No, he was walking up.
Oh, okay. So he hadn't started yet. Yeah.
They just realized, okay, Todd's disappeared. We don't know where he's at.
He hadn't gotten through the illustration yet.
No, I have not gotten to the illustration yet. So, but I get up there, and again, there's, it's way up high, and there's this yellow tinted glass, and it's tilted out, and it's really hard to communicate, and it's just so frustrating. So I say, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm going down. So I go down, and on the floor, it's like covered with with like straw and grass, almost like you were preaching like an a fair. Like you ever go to one of those like side little local country shows at the fair, kind of like that. But the microphone's not working, and nobody can hear me. And the building's packed. I mean, this is the Joy Dome, but it's wall to wall people. There's all kind of people in there. It's like the circus had literally come to town and they were hosting it at Northwoods.
Well, we do look like the big top sometimes with the building.
Yes. So I gave up on that. I go back up and begin preaching again, and this time I'm preaching, and I've got my notes, but I realize like sometimes when you're doing like multiple verses, you call it Bible drill when I do that, but you print them out so that you can get to them quickly without having to flip through pages. But now Laurie's up there, and Laurie's holding onto my arm, and so now I'm trying to find the verses on my phone because I had printed my notes, but not the verses. So I'm trying to find them with one.
So Laurie's on the ladder with you.
Yeah, Laurie's on the ladder behind the bulletproof glass. She's not getting in front of the bulletproof glass. So yeah, she's up there, but she's on this arm, so I don't have two arms to do the phone. So I'm trying to do the phone and find the verses. Now, one of my sons, and I'm not going to name him because preachers name their kids in the sermon illustrations, and that's not really fair. But one of my sons, for whatever reason, I'm up there trying to preach. There's all these distractions going on. And for whatever reason, he's decided to turn his chair sideways. So he's literally sitting sideways in the auditorium. Like, obviously not at all interested in anything that's going on. So
like normal at home, not paying any attention to you.
Whatever. Thank you, Kevin. So I get to the verse, and it's instead of like a verse, it's these same edit marks that are on that banner. It's the hammer, and it's the square, and I don't know how I did it, but I read it, and I didn't know what I was reading. It was really strange. But when I was done reading that verse, that I had no idea what I had read, people started clapping and shouting. They were whatever it was that this hammer and the square, whatever it was, people got excited about it, and I'm like, this is really, really strange. And then, so I guess I'm looking confused. And then on the front row, as long as we're naming names, we'll name names. Suzanne Spell is sitting on the front row.
Okay.
And Suzanne Spell says, because I guess she could see the confusion in my face, which, as we found out in the dad joke segment, sometimes I can't really hide my expression sometimes.
The confusion looks a little like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to figure out where the story's going.
So exactly, I know it's right. But I'd read the verse, there was the clapping, and people were excited about it, even though I had no idea what I had said. Suzanne Spell, she looks at me, and I guess she can see the confusion in my face, and she goes, well, David was a Christian man. And I thought, what? So then in my mind, instead of like continuing to preach, I'm having this debate in my head like, was he? I mean, because he lived like thousands of years before Christ.
Biblical David,
earth.
not some random David,
right,
John David.
Yes, King. She was referring to King David.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to figure out in my mind. I guess technically, because you could look forward to the Messiah, you could call yourself a Christian, but Christian's kind of a very specific term for people who.
Oh, so you got into like the deep theological,
I didn't get into a debate with her.
No, but
in my mind,
in my
dialogue, dream,
inside your dream,
I am having this. I'm having this debate.
Okay.
Yeah, so all that happens, and then somehow we get through all of that. I get down, church is over, and then I wake up, and that was the dream. And I started thinking about, because I got up, and obviously there's a lot of details there, so I thought I don't want to forget that. So I got my phone, I started writing down just some little bullet points, so I wouldn't forget the dream, because it was just interesting. If nothing else, it was interesting. I began to think, what was that? What was the meaning of that? And then, like, I told Pastor Ross about this dream, and he said, well, it's because there's just with COVID, and there's so much going on, and we're doing things that we don't normally do, and there's a lot of distractions, and it's not what we normally do. And I'm like, that's kind of what I thought at first. But then as I continued to think about that dream, I don't know if you caught this part or not, but I stepped down to come print my notes. And in this building, in the brick building, the windows were open. There was smoke in the building. There were people in the building, but I never really saw the people. I could hear them,
right,
but I never really saw them. And then it dawned on me the truth that through all of that and through all of that distraction, so focused on that one task, which my initial reaction was exactly like you would think, like preaching was important. That was the most significant thing happening, and there were all these distractions. How can we eliminate these distractions so we can do the most important thing? And then it dawned on me, but I'd been in a building that very possibly could have been on fire with children in it, and that part of it did not even register, didn't even think about that, because what mattered was getting back over there. So even the preaching at that point in any civilized person's heart or mind would not have been the priority. The priority is the building on fire, and are there children in the building? So just as I thought about that, I thought about like Matthew chapter 6 verse 33, which if you have a Bible, turn over there, because I think it's just so important that we understand and know in any given moment what matters and what's important. And don't misunderstand what I'm saying, because teaching and preaching is important, but in certain moments, some things just take priority, they take precedent, and we run the danger of being so distracted by all that's taking place around us that we forget that. So Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. Well, I'll back up to verse 30, and then we'll get to verse 33. But it says, "But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which today is alive and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? Therefore, do not be anxious, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the Gentiles seek after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them all. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." So the point there, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, the importance of understanding what matters, what is important. God's kingdom. Why has he created you? Why has he made you? Why has he brought you into his kingdom to be a part of his kingdom? And keeping that as our priority, because this verse is very specific about the distraction of, well, what about these physical needs that I have? And in our situation, that's rampant. I just read somewhere there's like 22,000. I think that's right, 22,000 unemployed people in Leon County, which is a seems like a really high number. But there's a lot of people, and our temptation would be to be so focused and so anxious and scared about, well, what about the economics of everything, and what about illness and COVID and all those things, when in reality this promise has not changed. If we will say, okay, what's God up to in this moment? What is happening in God's kingdom? How can I continue to be a part of the expansion of God's kingdom in this moment? If we will focus on that, then everything else takes care of itself, or really doesn't take care of itself, but God takes care of all of the rest. So all he's asking us to do is don't be anxious, don't be afraid, don't be scared, but focus our attention on this moment, even as an opportunity for the expansion of God's kingdom. Put our energy and our passion and our time and our thoughts all into God's kingdom, and everything else will take care of itself. So let me encourage you tonight, as I pray for you, to think about your life. We've talked about this a lot over the last several weeks, the importance of not wasting this time. Because on the one hand, you would think this would be a time where it would be easy to be super focused on things that matter. But as time goes on, sometimes the opposite is true. It's easy to be super distracted, and God is calling us to be super focused on his kingdom, and to ask the question, okay, God, COVID is obviously happening. Quarantine is happening. We're opening up a little bit, but not completely yet. But God, in this moment, what are you up to, and how can I be involved in what you're up to? Because I want to be involved in what God is up to. I want to be on Team God. So whatever he's doing in his kingdom, that's where I want to focus my attention. So let me pray for us, and then we'll make some announcements, and then we'll talk about what is next. God, thank you for this good day. God, we thank you that you created it and you made it. God, we thank you that you are up to something, and we thank you that we know, because your word tells us that something is good. God, we don't understand all the details. We don't understand all the different paths that it's taking. But God, we know ultimately that you're doing it for your glory and to make us more like your son, Jesus. And so, God, help our focus to be there on you and your glory and your kingdom and our role in it. God, discovering the reasons that you've created us and invited us to be a part of what you're doing in the world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Todd, did we have a time crunch? Do we have to cut some content?
we did not have a time crunch. Kevin, we've got all night because we've got 15 minutes before we even have to do small groups. So why don't we do the Masked Singer?
Okay, that's a good idea there, Todd.
Is that where you're going? Okay,
That's where I was going.
Let me catch us up to date. Okay, week 1, Ellie Kate was eliminated. She was Monkey C. She was eliminated by the Pixelator. And we do not yet know who the Pixelator is, but the Pixelator has moved on to round 2. Now, the 2 rounds after that, we had ties both weeks.
That includes last week.
So here is how we are going to handle that. All of those videos, I think they're all there now except maybe Black Cat. We'll get Black Cat added. All of those videos will be on the YouTube page. So you can go back and watch them again and submit your answers. Maddie, if you'll put the text number on the screen, you can submit your numbers, your answers to that text, who you think the Masked Singer is, and we're going to take the bottom half of that group. There's 4 of them in that category. So 2 will move on, and 2 will be eliminated based on your votes after rewatching on the YouTube channel.
Or you can just comment right there on the YouTube page. Leave a comment.
You could leave a
comment.
comment. Yes.
That would be easier to manage than trying to figure out this
That's
week's
true.
entries and.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Leave a comment. Well, yeah. Okay.
Either way, but let me know you're voting on a past week.
You could get some groupthink involved if you do that, but that's okay. Well, I mean, at this point, we need to eliminate some people. So just to remind you, iPoodle is not Lily Sapp. Some people thought iPoodle was Lily Sapp. Is not Lily Sapp. Black Cat is not Hayden or Megan. Black Cat is not Hayden or Megan.
Correct.
And I think that's the only incorrect guesses that we.
Yeah, that was it. That was the only incorrect guesses we got. That was
Okay.
That was a close vote there.
Okay, so tonight we have 2 fresh videos. So Maddie, go ahead and spin the blocks and show us who we're going to see first. Seasonally inappropriate. Okay, so let's hear seasonally inappropriate and see if you know who this may be.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light from now on. Our troubles will be out of sight.
All right, so it is not Christmas, so seasonally inappropriate is ironically a very appropriate name for that particular Masked Singer.
Still trying to figure out what the picture was. I saw this in that video in rehearsal.
Right.
I don't know what the mask is.
Okay. Well, whoever you think it is, text it to that number that used to be on the screen there. Maybe Maddie will get it back up there.
Look like a fuzzy eyeball of something.
Yes. As soon as that person is revealed, maybe we can have them on to explain themselves. That would be a fun thing to do. All right, Maddie, spin the blocks, and let's see who our final original video is from. All right, this is Falsetto Fran, because we really don't know if it's Fran or Frank. But all right, Maddie, let's hear from Falsetto Fran. And don't play it to the end.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
All right, Maddie, I think that sums that one up pretty good. So if you think you know who Falsetto Fran is, then text that to the number on the screen. Maybe we can get that back on the screen, possibly. But Kevin, you want to give him that number? Oh, there it is right there. Okay, very good. So who do you think that is? So we had seasonally inappropriate and Falsetto Fran. So let us know who you think they are.
All right. I'm also getting texts with people texting in their pictures that Michelle
Already.
so politely was able to navigate.
Well,
them
that's
through.
exciting. Who are some of the people that have texted in?
Jay Boswick.
All right.
That's gonna be a good one.
Winning.
Megan.
Yeah, nice.
has done one.
I imagine that's high quality. Not that Jay's probably wasn't too. He's a construction guy.
That's the only two that I've
So far.
gotten
All right.
but
I am
yeah.
sure they will be coming in. So that's great. Okay. As we wrap up, a couple announcements, Kevin. One is Family Beach Day is actually
Beach Day.
this Saturday. So bring your whole family down to the beach. We'll meet in front of Laguna, Panama City Beach between 15th and 16th Street. There'll be a bathroom will be made available to us, so we'll have that. So that'll be great. Well, I'm getting a question. Is there a time? It's all day. I mean, I'll be there first thing in the morning. I'll be there till probably at least sunset, and then probably go to Shane's Rib Shack after sunset. So that's
Oh, they got a Shane's over there.
that's
how
my
about
plan.
that?
That's the last restaurant we ate before everything closed. So anyway,
For the record, we had some funny comments about your story. You know that.
Oh, we did.
Your wife says that story. That dream was a result of you needing a vacation or you're eating too many chicken wings right before bed.
Who gave her a computer?
The Trinda thinks you may be been really stressed lately.
Oh. No, I told her before. Okay. Maybe a little. Okay. All right. So small groups tonight. The guys will all meet together in the high school guys' room. Middle school and high school ladies will meet in their respective rooms. You can find those rooms at nwctally.com/students. Scroll down to the bottom and you'll see those Zoom groups listed there. And tomorrow night is family game night. Now, Kevin, I'm going to do something a little different.
Okay.
I'm going to ask people in the comments, or they can text you, and you can tell me later if we shut down before they get to, if they have a favorite game that they would like to play at Zoom Family Game Night tomorrow it's 7 or 7:30. I forget what time, but either 7 or 7:30. They can
That'd
do
be
that.
good to know to promote. The night
Yes.
before.
Well, I know 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Very good. Yes. If you go to the website nwctally.com/students, you'll see the link to that too, and it actually has the time on there. So. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here and participating and being good sports. Michelle Angelo, thank you again for being here. Oh, Kevin, we forgot one more thing.
What did we
Speaking of
forget?
Michelle Angelo, we are getting a little short-staffed here.
Okay.
One, our camera person, Drew Sapp, graduated today.
Okay.
So obviously he is absent without leave, but absent nonetheless. And he's actually leaving for a summer job. Next week will be his last week, and he'll be gone.
Okay.
And he's graduating, so I guess you could say
He gone.
he go. Exactly. So we need a camera person. Also, we've had people request to be able to be on stage and be part and do some games with us and things like that. So did we have a way we were going to decide who could do that?
No, maybe that could be the competition for the drawing. The award for the drawing. We didn't settle a award for the drawing.
Okay.
prize.
Oh, okay. Very good. So
Text in those drawings.
text in those drawings. If we will select 2 people, and they will participate on stage next week if they want to in next week's game. And
All
but we
right.
do need a volunteer. If you're technically gifted, we could use a camera person.
And
So,
you can go back and watch the video again, and maybe now that you know that you have a chance to be on Youth Night Live, I guess
Yeah.
whatever this
Yeah.
we're calling this.
who wouldn't want to do that?
If that's not copyrighted. So go back and do your drawing, and if you haven't done it already, click the subscribe button.
Yes, subscribe.
We
75.
we were looking at how many people watch some of these videos, and one of our videos, like 211 people have watched. I was
Yeah.
amazed by that,
Yeah.
and we only got 75 subs.
Yeah, that could have saved me $15 on a haircut if they had just subscribed.
Oh, trust me, you'd have had to spend $15 on a haircut.
So-
I got done.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We will see you in a few minutes in small
5
groups.
minutes.
5 minutes. Have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye.